Hi, welcome back to another edition of Max and Nicky 1000th Time Reactions,
where we react to a song after listening to it for our 1000th time.
Normally we release 3 videos a day every day, but during the rest of this week we're only going to be releasing 1 or 2 videos a day, just depending on the day because we got a lot of things going on this week. But after October we'll be back to doing 3 videos a day every day.
If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and turn on and ding that post notification bell
so you don't miss out on all our content that we release.
That's right. Also, if you're new, what we'd like to do here is listen to the song all the way through without stopping so as not to interrupt the intention of the artist. And then afterwards, we'll delve in, talk about our reactions, talk about some in-depth analysis, and some history of the song if we should know it. Mm-hmm. What are we going to listen to today, Nicky?
We're going to listen to Leaving on a Jet Plane by Peter, Paul, and Mary. Of course, this is written by John Denver, but it was definitely, this is probably the more popular version of the song, right?
It's not probably, it is the more it sold more. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. We'd also like to mention that we have another YouTube channel called Max and Nicky, on which we perform oldies tunes,
jazz standards,
and some originals in that vein. We also got some comedy videos on there as well, if that should strike your fancy. But for right now, let's take a listen to Leaving on a Jet Plane by Peter, Paul, and Mary. This is the 2004 remaster.
For our 1000th time.
Here we go.
All my bags are packed, I'm ready to go. I'm standing here outside your door. I hate to wake you up to say goodbye, but the dawn is breaking, it's early morn. Taxi's waiting, he's blowing his horn. Already I'm so lonesome I could cry. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. There's so many times I've let you down. So many times I've played around. I tell you now, they don't mean a thing. Every place I go, I think of you. Every song I sing for you. When I come back, I'll wear your wedding ring. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. Now the time has come to leave you. One more time, let me kiss you, then close your eyes, I'll be on my way. Dream about the days to come when I won't have to leave alone. About the time I won't have to say. Kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate.
'cause I hate to go. 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 '
Man, I was getting some shivers on that song.
It's
and
very
goosebumps.
good.
It's so
It's
good.
very
They handle
good.
the dynamics really well, you know?
Well, that's the thing. You know, we've talked about this in some of our past videos, the volume wars, or is that what it's called? Well, anyway, things have become more compressed in the past, 20 years or so in the music industry. And people are starting to go back to how things were before a little bit, at least. And when things are compressed, they tend to even, level out any dynamics, and it basically creates a relative sound. Relatively, it makes things sound a bit louder, basically.
But it also makes everything sound the same.
A little more.
On the
There's
same
there's no
volume
there's
level.
no dynamics. There's no dynamic contour at all,
And
or
you-
there's less so.
And you do miss out on all these subtle dynamic changes, which is what you get in this song.
Right.
When the guitar comes in, they almost like vocally they just kind of
Crescendo,
Crescendo,
together. Well, everything crescendos and the instruments, which there are only two instruments on here. There's the bass and the guitar.
an upright bass.
Upright bass.
This time it is an upright bass.
That's right. Well, in the past we've disagreed whether or not we've heard an upright
But I
bass
love the
or an
upright
electric
bass.
and this is definitely an upright
The upright bass on this, it kind of swings and it kind of makes the song sound a little jazzy in a way,
Well, what's interesting is
The chords do,
this
actually.
remaster is really cool because you can really distinctly hear each of their voices.
Yes,
and
but
the
I will say that I wonder if listening to this in mono would have been better because you're not hearing all the harmonies together, which
That's
is
true.
maybe something we're
That's
missing
something
out
you
on.
sacrifice a little bit. But I think, well, I don't know. It's a choice, because I like the idea because they each kind of enter at different times, and I like hearing
love-
that distinctly.
I love hearing the distinct sort of lines that each singer is singing.
exactly.
And, the middle voice, was that Mary or whoever?
Of course.
Yeah.
Who else would it?
Well, it kind of sounds almost like a guy. I was going to say,
That's not. I don't believe. That's. I don't. She's totally. A woman
I think
sound.
she's
So-
definitely like an alto, even
You
almost
actually,
a
I looked this
contralto,
up recently.
you know?
You don't say alto anymore. Actually,
Really?
they haven't. That's never been a distinction. At least not in. I think that since the 20th century, they stopped using that to refer to women singers that sing in a lower register. They call them mezzos. Usually, they call them mezzo sopranos.
No, hold on. That's not what I meant, though.
No, incorrect. No, let me explain. You don't say alto actually at all.
No, I did not mean mezzo soprano. From what I understand, is higher than an alto. Right?
Incorrect. Oh, no.
Yes.
No, incorrect actually. No.
There's soprano, which is the highest.
Yeah, no. You
then
don't
there's
you
mezzo
still
soprano.
don't you still don't say that. You say mezzo soprano or you say
Contralto. Well, she seems to sound like a contralto actually. Her voice is
but
deeper.
they
for a
never
woman.
say alto anymore actually because you want to know why?
Why?
Because they found that most people that were distinguished as who were called altos could actually sing often higher than the designated range that an alto is given, or sing lower than that. And so normally that's why you call somebody who's you just call them mezzo sopranos or contraltos or sopranos.
Well, you can't understand or you can't relate that her voice. It almost could have been the higher male voice,
Well, actually, here's the thing. She could have also, if she were in her more of her head register, you might say she's a mezzo soprano. That's the reason, is because
Well, I have heard her sing higher before,
yeah, but was she more belting it out though?
I don't know. On Lemon Tree, I think her voice sounds more, maybe higher, or maybe not. I don't know.
No. Well, anyway, okay. Well, anyway, that's enough talk about alto, the registers and stuff like that. But I will say, I don't know if I think it's Paul or whoever or Peter. I forget their actual names, but
Right, exactly. Their names are not actually Peter, Paul, and Mary, right?
well, I think they are. There is something in their names. Yes, they are actually.
Oh, really?
Or
Okay.
There's something. It might be the part of the middle name or something like that. that they all have actually those names. But Peter, I think, is the one that has the higher voice, the one that's more average height.
Well, he was in the left ear for sure then, right?
Yeah, that's right. And the tall one, he was playing the bass. He plays the bass. As tall people tend to do, they play upright basses. That's always the case because it's such a tall instrument. It's a big instrument.
That's not entirely true. I know a guy who was pretty short who was a great jazz musician who played upright bass.
I'm just saying they tend to be taller people. I always tend to see taller or bigger people.
The guy
play
who
the
introduced us to Joshua Cook, actually, he played bass, remember? And he played upright bass.
Joshua Cook was a musician we once played, a few times I've played with in the past. He's a friend of ours. Anyway, more on this song. Anyway, Paul in the right ear, you were talking about it being kind of jazzy sounding, and actually, come to think of it, oh, that's right. Where was the bass located? Was it in the?
It was in the middle.
It was in the middle. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Paul would be singing a major seven. You know, he would be singing the note, the seventh degree of the scale degree when it was on, the tonic chord, and so that gave it sort of a jazzy quality,
Sure,
if you will.
But sometimes these male vocalists, or each of them, was doing a different counter melody or something. Like that. It was pretty cool. And
well, I think that's the reason why they had it separated so much.
But it's almost like if I were to mix this, when they're singing the chorus, perhaps when they're all harmonizing together, I would have perhaps brought all the voices together and maybe in the center, perhaps.
Sure, although I will say the problem with that is you lose this quality of this kind of intimate quality about it, which makes it feels like you're there with them. So if you do that, it kind of makes it seem like it's not all done in one take. That it's it's a real product, a production, as opposed to this kind of bare bones kind of thing, which is what this song is. And I think that would do a disservice, actually, to change the stereo spectrum, midway through.
Perhaps you're right.
It's things you have to think about in production.
But it's a great song, written by John Denver.
Yeah. He's and it's I like the idea about the lyrics. He's got to leave, and I mean, I wonder. I mean, maybe he just comes into town every so often, meet his lover, I guess, and they only get so much time together. Right. It kind of reminds me a little bit. I mean, and slightly like this song called Barcelona from the musical company by Stephen Sondheim.
Where you going?
Barcelona. Oh, and he's trying to get her to stay. It's a little bit different. The context is a lot, different. Well, it's not a lot more different, but it's a bit different because he kind of regrets in the end that she ends up staying. But anyway, both good songs, I will say.
Sure. Yeah, man, I was really getting shivers on this one.
Maybe he's a pilot, or maybe she's a pilot. She's the one singing, I guess.
I wanted to say real quick, and this doesn't really have to do with the song. I'm wearing...
Maybe she's maybe, I guess back then she would have been maybe a flight attendant.
I'm wearing a plaid shirt here, checkered shirt, and a lot of my shirts are like this, which is why you don't see me on camera wear these kinds of shirts often, because from what I understand, plaid doesn't always show up too well on camera.
Well, smaller
checks,
plaid.
it kind of has this distorted thing that happens. But I gave it a shot this time, so we'll see what happens. You let me know if it looks distorted on your end.
Yeah, isn't that a kind of a bizarre thing?
It sure is. It's a weird and wild stuff. Weird and wild stuff. I did know that, but I don't know why.
I mean, do you see that? Is that in the case anytime you film anything? Anytime?
No, not
cameras?
all the time, because in our music video for Samaria, I wore this shirt, and that seemed to turn up okay.
I guess you
have to have good.
I think you need
quality
like a really, really good quality camera.
Yeah,
I'm talking like,
top notch,
high shelf. Anyway, I think that'll do it for this reaction video.
Man, boy, is it a good tune. If you like what you heard and saw today, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ding that post notification bell to find out about more Max Nicky reaction videos.
Please keep tuning in.